Hello there, I'm Eric Njoka and you're watching Race to Power on WION The World is One. A relatively unknown figure just months ago, few could have predicted his rise. With a comfortable lead in the polls, 34-year-old Zoran Mamdani is on the brink of making history when New Yorkers vote on Tuesday as the youngest mayor in over a century and the first Muslim and South Asian leader of the city. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum promised there would be justice for the brazen murder of a local mayor, Carlos Manzo, an outspoken critic of organized crime who had called on the government to do more to protect him and others. We begin with New York. Early voting has ended in the race to be New York's next mayor. Tuesday is the main ballot day, which will determine which way this high-stakes race goes. All of US is watching the race closely to witness what could potentially be the biggest upset that American politics has seen in its modern electoral history. Here's a quick look at the candidates in this race. Zoran Mamdani, a 34-year-old Democratic nominee who has turned the face of this entire mayoral election. He is an assemblyman from Queens who came under spotlight after defeating former Governor Andrew Cuomo in the Democratic primaries. Mamdani's campaign has taken social media by storm, with videos spanning several languages and addressing a mix of all communities of New Yorkers. The campaign mirrors a grassroots movement with a focus on making New York affordable, targeting a cost of living crisis in one of America's most expensive cities. As he went viral, Mamdani shattered fundraising records back in September when the campaign hit New York City's $8 million matching funds cap. Next is Andrew Cuomo, former Democratic lawmaker who decided to bid in the election as an independent after losing to Mamdani. A billionaire and former governor, Cuomo gained traction last month after outgoing Mayor Eric Adams dropped his re-election bid and endorsed him. The 67-year-old is seeking a political comeback 4 years after stepping down as governor following accusations of sexual harassment. Cuomo denies all allegations against him. He has positioned himself as a centrist alternative to Mamdani, but lags in popularity polls. More recently, Cuomo also received backing from US President Donald Trump. The third candidate in this race is Republican Curtis Sliwa. The radio talk show host is fighting the mayoral race again after his 2021 run, but is consistently placed third on all popularity polls. For long, some Republican lawmakers have urged him to step aside to boost Cuomo's chances at defeating Mamdani. But Sliwa has stayed in the race till the end and has rested his mayoral campaign on public safety. Let's now take a look at what some of the latest popularity polls say about the tri-cornered contest. First up, Atlas Intel poll, which shows Mamdani in leading with 41% support, followed by Cuomo at 34% and Republican Curtis at 24%. Next is the Quinnipiac University poll conducted on October 23rd to the 27th. The poll shows Mamdani in the lead, again with 43% of the vote share, followed by Cuomo on 33% and Curtis on 14%. 6% of New Yorkers are undecided. Emerson College polling shows Mamdani with 50% vote share, a 25% lead over Andrew Cuomo, who has 25% vote share. Curtis is third on this poll as well with 21% votes. 4% of New Yorkers are undecided. Mr. Richard William Painter is an American lawyer and professor at University of Minnesota Law School. He is now joining us live from Minnesota. Mr. Painter, good to see you. Looks like the chances are good for Mamdani. What is he doing right, according to you?
Well, the voters in New York City are very frustrated with the cost of living. It used to be an affordable city and is not anymore in many parts of New York. People just can't afford to live in unless they have enormous sums of wealth. So people are frustrated and looking for candidates who will solve those problems. Now, whether Mamdani actually has the ability to solve the problem of the cost of living in New York is yet to be seen. But voters are also frustrated with the ethics scandals in the United States, in both the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. And the Democratic Party establishment backed Andrew Cuomo, despite his many scandals and the fact that he had to resign as governor of New York in a sexual harassment scandal. And it's really quite surprising that establishment Democrats would think that Cuomo is an acceptable candidate for mayor when he resigned the governorship of New York in disgrace. And unfortunately, the Republican Party has not been able to gain traction in New York. The Republicans have elected mayors of New York who've been very effective. Rudy Giuliani was very effective as a mayor. His political downfall came later after he left the mayoral position in New York. And Michael Bloomberg was a fabulously successful mayor, also a Republican. But the Republican Party does not, at this point, seem to have traction with the New York voters. And a large part of that is President Trump. And Curtis Silva, while he has a very strong platform, he has no political experience. And it's uncertain whether, even if he did win, he would be able to implement his agenda, which focuses on public safety, another very, very important issue.
Mr. Painter, now let's talk about Democrats. Do you actually think that Democrats are having it easy in New York? And having said that, there are some critics who say that Mamdani will be a huge headache and a challenge to Trump.
Well, the problem is that whoever wins this race for mayor of New York is going to have to run the problems of the city of New York. And if Mamdani gets to be mayor and he tries to raise taxes even more on New Yorkers and drive businesses out of New York, certainly this will drive down the cost of housing in the long run, but he would do that by gutting New York's economy. So he's going to have some serious challenges ahead of him if he is a successful candidate for mayor of New York. New York is a very, very difficult city to govern and has serious problems, the cost of housing, crime, and issues with the unions and fair wages. There are a lot of issues that need to be addressed in New York. So whoever wins this race really needs to focus on running New York City and not getting into fights with President Trump, who has his own difficulties running our country.
All right, Mr. Painter, it's good to see you. We'll have to leave it there. Thank you for talking to us today.
Thank you.
Let's move on now. 34 days of U.S. government shutdown. The standoff between Republicans and Democrats is rearing its ugly head for Americans. For thousands in the country, food is on the line. Across the United States, low-income Americans and beneficiaries of the SNAP food program have been lining up outside in centers or aid centers and the independent outreach programs to collect food supplies.
It's not anything extraordinary or anything like luxurious. It's just something basic as getting food to my kids and ensure the growth that they need to be a better person, to grow and be a healthy kids in the future.
If I don't get food stamps, I can't eat. Literally, I get $24 extra a month, and that's it. The rest of it goes to child support and my rent, which I'm blessed enough to find a place to charge somebody just $500 a month in rent. So, you know what I mean? It's a very important part.
Last week, 2 judges ordered the Trump administration to utilize emergency funds to keep the Supplementary Nutrition Assistance Program going. SNAP caters to roughly 42 million recipients across the country. However, there is uncertainty over its implementation in terms of scale and time, but time is exactly what many Americans do not have.
I think SNAP should not be about politics when we got to feed the people. We're giving money away to foreign countries, and our people need to be fed here, now.
Both Republicans and Democrats are refusing to negotiate on the stopgap bill, which will open the government and resume normal functioning. Both camps are divided over Medicaid and other public spending-linked benefits. Both blame each other for the shutdown. But the longer it drags on, the more damage this political rift inflicts on Americans. And the president says he doesn't want Americans to go hungry. He's actually asked the lawyers to do something about this before the government reopens, and it is not certain when the government of America will reopen. Let's now talk to our correspondent Susan Teherani, who's now joining us live from New York. Susan, everyone is now talking about food stamps. They are talking about SNAP. They're worried about where they're going to get their food. Their president is promising them that he doesn't want them to go hungry. What is the alternative to all of this?
Yeah, that's what the main alternative would be if the Democrats would vote with the Republicans and open the government, at least under a CR bill, which is a temporary just opening of the government so they can sort of reach a conclusion on what the Democrats are calling for. But despite a vote after vote again, the Democrats continue not to really vote on that. They're not opening the government. The judge on Friday, one of the judges, after more than a dozen Democratic leaders from different cities filed a lawsuit against the Trump administration, called on the Trump administration to either start the supplemental program again, which that's where the Trump administration says we don't have the legal bindings to do that, or use SNAP reserves, which is about $5 billion to, at least by Wednesday, partially fund SNAP benefits. For every month, this is $5 billion for every month. If SNAP wants to go out completely, it would need $8 billion. The Department of Agriculture, also the judge said, has sort of some money, at least from the tariffs that it's been getting. He's saying that maybe the Department of Agriculture can tap into those funds as well to help get individuals who are in need of food, some 42 million Americans, 1 in 8 Americans who are relying on SNAP, to at least get them through the month of November until they figure out what's happening in Washington and whether or not the government is going to reopen again. We're still waiting to see which direction the Trump administration wants to take. But there is a ruling where two judges have ordered the Trump administration to fund it through emergency funding, even if it's partially funding SNAP to do so.
The stalemate continues. Susan Teherani will have to leave it there. Thank you. Another lawmaker has been targeted and shot in Mexico by organized crime gangs. Mayor Carlos Manzo has been killed at a public event with hundreds of people in attendance. The video captured Uruapan Mayor at a festival marking the Day of the Dead. Moments before he was killed, Manzo was elected as mayor in September last year and has consistently been a voice against organized crime for his region, which has been plagued by drug cartel activities targeting the agriculture community. Thousands attended the funeral as the slain mayor was laid to rest. The brazen murder has left people shocked and angry. Thousands raised slogans demanding justice and immediate government intervention.
Señora Presidenta.
Madam President, please tell your secretary we need immediate help here in Uruapan, Michoacan. Uruapan has no tourism left, no support from abroad, because what happened here was seen by children, by families. He was with his kids, I was with my daughters, and suddenly, terror, screams, hiding behind cars, running into shoe stores. ice cream shops, people terrified, children crying. Why do you ignore us?
Fue terror, fueron gritos.
The bad guys no longer wanted to be attacked by the mayor. He was actually achieving a lot for us, the citizens, and for Uruapan. He was accomplishing many things. That's why they killed him.
The region of Michoacan has seen a surge in violence against local officials. In recent past, dozens of mayors and public figures have become targets for cartels that are consistently seeking dominance in Mexico's avocado-growing region, which has witnessed rapid boom in exports. Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum has vowed a harsh response and cracked down on organized crime, but in the past, the government has done little to combat cartel violence. The latest murder of a lawmaker has further fueled the ire of citizens.
Tengo algunas llamadas con
The state of Bihar votes in just 3 days. The countdown has begun for phase 1 of the assembly elections on Thursday, with 126 seats up for grabs. But in the corridors of power, it's not just party symbols that matter. It's the sway of Bihar's strongmen, the so-called Bahubalis, who loom large over the state's politics. The narrative of Jungle Raj, lawlessness and crime in Bihar is back in the spotlight. Prime Minister Narendra Modi drove the point home early in his campaign during the rally in Samastipur. Jungle Raj was repeated 17 times during the address. Multiple times he termed the opposition lions as thugs. Days before voters head to the booths, Mokama's most infamous strongman, Anant Kumar Singh, the so-called Chote Sarkar, is behind bars. The JDU candidate was arrested along with 2 aides for allegedly murdering gangster-turned-politician Dular Singh Yadav, who backed the rival Jan Suraj party. Singh has ruled Mokama for decades as his tough and stronghold, winning regardless of which party gives him a ticket. According to the nomination papers, Singh filed he has 28 ongoing cases against him. This election, his arrest, has reignited conversations about how criminality continues to shape Bihar's political landscape. The list of political strongmen in Bihar is long and ugly. Ritlal Yadav from the RJD will contest for the Danapur seat in Patna. He has 35 cases against him, including 4 for murder. Yadav is considered Lalu Yadav's original muscle power, and he still settles land deals with guns. The Patna High Court has rejected Yadav's interim bail plea to campaign in Danapur for the assembly polls. BJP leader Sunil Pandey has 42 criminal cases against him. These include murder, extortion, and kidnapping. A strong man with a doctoral degree, he was a former MLA from Bhojpur district with 4 election victories to his credit. Pandey spent most of his life in prison or in hiding. He was also accused of giving a contract to kill Mukhtar Ansari, a criminal who had just entered politics in Uttar Pradesh. Pandey ran a private army in Shahabad. His son, Vishal Prashant, will contest from Tarari, this time on a BJP ticket. 5-time MLA Amrendra Kumar Pandey, generally known as Papu Pandey, is a feared strongman from Gopalganj. The JDU leader has 38 cases to his name, including multiple kidnappings and contract killings in the 1990s. Several other Bahubalis actually bowed down to Pandey. And this is just the tip of a huge iceberg. Let's now take a look at the data and what it is telling us. The latest ADR report says 1 in 3 candidates in these elections faces criminal charges. That's 423 contestants out of 1,303 candidates. 354 are accused in grave crimes like murder or attempted murder, and dozens implicated in cases targeting women. At least 33 candidates, 33, face murder charges, 86 for attempted murder, and 42 for crimes against women, including 2 facing rape charges. It's not just about muscle, it's about money. 40% of candidates are crore parties, with an average asset value of over 3 crore rupees. Education levels paint a mixed picture, but for voters, the criminal record list is raising tough questions about clean politics. Among the top parties, RJD has the highest share of candidates with criminal records, a staggering 76%. BJP and Congress each have 65% of their nominees facing cases, while JDU has 39%. Smaller parties also have their share, showing just how deep the links run between crime and political ambitions. Meanwhile, campaigning is hitting fever pitch. Chief Minister Nitish Kumar, Prime Minister Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah and Congress leader Priyanka Gandhi are crisscrossing the state holding rallies and roadshows. Tejasvi Yadav is out front for the Mahagathbandhan, rallying support across multiple districts. Leaders from the AMIM, Jan Shakti Janata Dal and Jan Suraj Party are also out in force. Iraq is scheduled to hold parliamentary elections next week on November 11th. The polls are being held to elect 329 members of Iraq's Council of Representatives. The council elects the country's president and approves the appointment of Iraq's prime minister. But there is voter apathy over lack of change in Iraq's administration. In the last general election, influential Iraqi Shiite cleric Muqtada Sadar's factions have won the highest number of seats in the council. But the group later withdrew from parliament, and it paved the way for the coordination framework to control crucial decisions. This time, Sadr has decided to boycott the elections and asked his followers to do the same. This has triggered greater apathy among people. Few hold on to hope and the unsaid responsibility to vote with little choice on the ballot.
We are boycotting the elections due to the absence of essential services. Young people are struggling with unemployment, and there are no adequate hospitals or schools. We, the youth, are enduring severe hardship.
In past elections, we cast our votes but watched as unqualified candidates won and joined the government, bringing only corruption and sectarianism. Even now, during this election, some are trying to stir up sectarian divisions through their campaign slogans.
We aspire to see change and the emergence of new MPs who can improve the situation. It is this hope for change that drives me to vote. Thank God, we can see real progress in Baghdad. There's noticeable development in this street, Al-Mutanabi. Across all the provinces of Iraq, we've witnessed improvements in infrastructure, including bridges and roads.
And that's the latest on this edition of Race to Power. Thank you for watching. Do stay with us. This is WION The World is One.
From the bustling trading floors of Wall Street to the vibrant exchanges of Asian stock markets, WION breaks it down for you to make sense of what's happening, as we reveal the key factors behind events, strategic battles, and the game-changing business decisions that shape the world. We bring you all of this and more on World Business Watch.
Where darkness hides behind every corner. Where the truth is stranger than fiction. A show that dives deep into the stories which shock and mystify. Unsolved murders. Psychopaths who defy explanation. International war crimes. And millions swindled in financial fraud. The victims, the accused, and the sinister plot. Prime Crime is your front row seat to darkness.
The Earth is sending distress signals. Wildfires, droughts, and melting glaciers. Can we reverse the damage? Explore the harrowing effects of climate change. It's a wake-up call. Global emergency. Climate Tracker on WION World is One.
The stress of our world can take a toll on our physical and emotional health. Here, in New York's Catskill Mountains, lies a luxurious place of healing called WION Wellness Center. The WION Wellness Center provides 500,000 square feet of natural methods to manage diabetes, hypertension, chronic pain, obesity, depression, anxiety, and other conditions. We use the traditions of centuries-old natural science from India, yoga, Ayurveda, acupuncture, and naturopathy in personalized programs that help you take charge of your own health. A minimum 5-day stay is recommended for best results. Book now at yowon.com